to be in investing in individuals, investing in their ideas and in their potential, and modeling for them, as John D. Rockefeller did, as Andrew Carnegie did, as Henry Ford did, for Americans, that these rich industrialists can be role models. They can tell us their stories of how they started very humbly, as Mr. Rockefeller, Ford, and Carnegie did, very humbly, and yet rose to great wealth, great significance, and made transformational change in the world. Well, Nigeria is producing its first generation of philanthropists who we hope a generation from now we can look back and say, we have our own Rockefellers, our own Fords, our own homegrown produced philanthropists here who have made us proud because they have made it possible for the next generation of Kofi Annans, of Nobel Prize winners, Wole Soyinka, etc., to move forward through their investments.
Well, I'm going to follow up on that in a bit, but let me follow up on something you said previously. What kind of results are you getting, or impressions are you getting about changing the narrative or mindset that, seeing young people as a challenge and not as an asset? Because I hear a lot of young people say, look, the older generation just don't want to give us a chance to do certain things. How are you approaching that?
Well, in fairness, young people around the world have always said that about old people, right? It's not unique to Nigeria. But in all seriousness, I think here it is going to be essential that institutions step forward and that we have new narratives put forward, which is why we invest, for example, in storytelling, in narrative, in media, and why we are thinking how we can tell the story of the continent in a different way. Because this is something that concerns us greatly at the Foundation, and that is that the story of Africa has been told not by Africans primarily, but by Europeans and Americans. And what we need are storytellers who are authentic, genuinely rooted here, and understand the conditions and circumstances here to be able to tell their stories to each other and to the world.
All right, we'll go to break on that note, but we'll be back in a moment and get your concluding comments. Don't go away. Welcome back. Our concluding moments with Mr. Darren Walker. Let me ask you this. You said that we now have our own generation of philanthropists who are coming through, but we also do know we have a lot of professionals in this country, young ones, who find it really difficult starting out. Yes. So for our philanthropists here, I mean, is it just about giving money? How should we approach this?
No, it's not just about giving money. Just giving away money is not philanthropy. Philanthropy is strategically thought out planning for impact with one's resources. And
impact investing, yeah.
Well, and it is being clear in your mind about the change that you are seeking in the world through your philanthropy. And my advice to Nigerian philanthropists is to first be strategic. There are many generous Nigerians across this country, but simply giving money here and there for this and that without forethought, without thinking about the population you want to invest in. For example, I encourage all to invest in young people because young people are the future of this country. And so to the extent that philanthropists can mentor, can support through scholarships and fellowships and internships in their businesses, it will make a transformational difference in the lives of young people. Young people need mentorship, and there are ways in which philanthropists can structure mentorships so that young people can learn from their example and be inspired.
So if a young person were to approach you and say, Mr. Walker, I need help, what would you tell such a person?
Well, it depends on the kind of help that they are seeking. if they're in college, for example, I think the help that is most needed is the kind of professional, getting on the professional track, if you will. So that comes through an internship or through the kind of work that they do during the year that's connected to their major and connected to what they ultimately hope to do when they get out of college. If it's someone who is not in college, for example, we support technical and vocational education because everyone doesn't have to go to college in order to be a success. And there are many jobs for which go unfilled because there isn't skilled labor. And that's why the kinds of vocational and technical education that we're looking at and working with the government to measure the skills gap, the mismatch of supply and demand of labor, is so important. Because ultimately, a society needs people who have degrees, professional degrees, and people who have technical, vocational education.
All right, let's make this a quick one because we need to go. Are you happy with your partners here, how they're performing?
Absolutely. First of all, let me say that I am optimistic because of our partners here. I am very bullish on this country because I see resilient, determined, committed people who deeply love their country and want to see it progress and want to see change and broader shared prosperity and more justice and more inclusion. These are the things the Ford Foundation is supporting through our grantees, and it's why I'm encouraged today.
And as a matter of fact, we welcome Mr. Darren Walker anytime because we like people who support our young people and get them to the next level. We've been speaking with Mr. Darren Walker, President of Ford Foundation. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
All right, that's the show today as well. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Thanks for watching. I'm Gimba Umar.
And I'm Maokwe Ogun. Thank you.